Hello, this is Earl Nightingale. Some time back, a friend of mine, Bud Irish, told me a story that affected me so deeply I haven't been able to get it out of my mind. Now, I don't know where the story originated, probably many years ago, according to Bud, but it changed my outlook on life. It caused me to make some quick and radical changes in my personal affairs, and simply because of this story, my family and I have an independence we didn't have before. I want to pass this story along to you in the hope that it will affect you as deeply as it affected me, and will result in your achieving the same happy state in life that my family and I have. I want to tell you the story of the money machine. How would you like to have a machine in your home which each year would turn out a supply of money equal to your present income? Each month, all you'd have to do is go to the room where you keep your money machine and scoop up a sum of money equal to your present monthly income. In the years ahead, just as your income will increase, this money machine will turn out an increasing amount of money, month in, month out, year after year. In 10 years, this machine will turn out a sum of money equal to 10 times your present yearly income, probably more, since your income will very likely increase substantially in the years ahead. The money turned out by this machine will be official legal tender which you can spend anywhere in the world. In your mind, get a mental picture of the sum of money this machine will turn out in 10 years. Now, this machine is free. It costs you nothing, and it can go on turning out this income every month for 30, 40 years, maybe more. Now, I have no way of knowing what your present income is, but even without increasing it, in 40 years, the number of years most of us work, it comes to quite a sum of money. For the average person, it comes to more than $1 million. Now, this would be quite a machine, this money machine, wouldn't it? But there is one small catch to it. You must keep this money machine in your house. You cannot put it in a bank vault for safekeeping, nor can you hire anyone to guard it. It must just sit there in the room you selected for it, turning out money every day. Now let me ask you this important question, and in your mind, answer it as honestly as you possibly can. If you had such a money machine in your house, for how much money would you insure it? Now think a moment. In 10 years it would turn out how much money? You can't keep it in a vault, you can't hire a guard to protect it, and you have no assurance whatsoever that it will not break down at some future date. Now, for how much money would you insure your money machine? Since such a machine could go on turning out this money for 40 years, it might be a good bet to insure it for at least 10 years' income, wouldn't it? Or as close to 10 years' income as you could afford, right? Well, I think most people will agree this makes pretty good sense, since the cost of insurance is always small compared to the total coverage. Well, you have such a money machine. It's each money earner in your family. And this is the sound of your money machine. Each month, he or she turns up with a certain amount of money, month in, month out, year after year. In 10 years, how much will be earned? How much? And the average person works for 40 years. How much money is that in your case? Now, while a spouse or a parent, a human being, is infinitely more precious, more loved than any machine could ever be, he or she really is, in fact, for our purposes here, a money machine. But there's a catch to this machine, too. You can't keep a human being in a bank vault. You can't hire someone to stand guard. You can't even keep your money machine in the house. Every day, he or she must go out and take chances in what is at best an unpredictable world. Now, as honestly as you can answer this question, how much do you think a machine like this should be insured for? That's the story of the money machine. If it had the same effect on you that it had on me, you've answered the question, possibly for the first time in your life, how much is enough life insurance? It did for me. Of course, insurance has never and can never pay for the loss of a loved one, nor was it at any time in its long and successful growth designed to do so. Money cannot be weighed on the same scale with a human life. The service it does render, and which can be rendered in no other way, is to replace in the form of cash income which may be lost at any time. What it does guarantee, by contract and by law, is to continue an income which will be needed just as much with your spouse out of the picture, as much, and for as long, as you specify. The service it does render is to replace, in the form of cash from a big central pool, a large sum of money, often out of all proportion to the small premium deposits, with which to provide for the economic side of such a loss. Now, there's only one thing you know for sure about life insurance. It must be paid. Someday, sooner or later, it must be paid. It will either come to a family that will need it badly in the possibility of a money earner being taken out of the picture, or you can arrange to have it come as retirement income and the probability of the money earner living. But the money must and will be paid by the company. There's no gamble involved, none whatsoever. Now the question every thinking family must answer is, how much life insurance should I carry? We all insure our homes for their full value, our furniture, personal belongings, our cars. But how much is a person worth? Well, since it's impossible to place a monetary value on a person, I think the story of the money machine answers the question. It's a good idea to be covered for at least 10 years' income. When we're young and starting out in life, we might not be able to afford to have that much in permanent form, but we can have quite a lot in permanent, the rest in term, and make sure we convert the term to a permanent form the minute we can afford it. To my mind, your life insurance agent is fulfilling one of the most important jobs in the country today. If he were suddenly removed from our economy, it would shortly result in economic chaos for the entire country. The higher you go in income brackets, the larger the role played by life insurance. But one of the tragedies of our time is that the families most in need of life insurance, those who stand to suffer most, are not sufficiently educated and sophisticated to realize the urgency of adequate life insurance coverage. It seems that we in the free world frequently don't understand what freedom means. Freedom, or individual liberty, was never intended to guarantee financial security, but rather to give every citizen the freedom and opportunity to achieve financial security for self and family. To me, individual liberty means the opportunity to succeed if we're wise, or fail if we are not. But in the free world, each of us can provide for our own financial independence if we live, and for the financial independence of our family if we don't. And there's only one way on earth that we can guarantee it, regardless of age or income, and that's through life insurance. But let me tell you about what I consider to represent a major tragedy. The average family is covered for only about 2 years of spendable income. I mean by that the average family, in the event a money earner should suddenly be taken, and many, many thousands are each year, can only continue to live at their present standard of living for about 2 years. This means that the children can only be housed, fed, and clothed at their present standard for 2 years. Well, if you feel the same way about your family as I do about mine, that's not enough. And what about the later years, the years after the kids are grown and married, when a couple finally has the opportunity to do and see all the things they've always wanted to do? Another tragedy. According to statistics, out of 100 young people who all start even at age 25, 40 years later, when they would be 65, only 1 is wealthy. Only 4 are independent for life. 5 are still working. 36 have died. And 54 are dependent upon relatives or charity for much of their support. And this in one of the richest countries the world has ever known. Why? I'll tell you why. Lack of planning. When only 5 out of 100 wind up financially independent, that's a lack of planning. And what of the families of the 36 who will die during that time? According to the national averages, they left their families with enough money to live for 18 months. That's lack of planning. 1 hour of your time can put you into the top 5% of the people of this or any other country if you'll do what I have done. Sit down with your insurance person and go over your entire picture. Explain what you want to do and let him or her show you how to do it. Realize, as I do, that your insurance representative can be the most important guest to ever walk through your front door, and that your future and the well-being of your family can be absolutely guaranteed by this person to be successful and free from financial worries and problems. Make sure that if you're not around, the home that means so much to you and your family will be theirs, debt-free and clear. Make sure that your spouse will have an income for the remaining years ahead, so that there will be no need to flounder and compete in the labor market. Be certain that you've given the children the financial security to provide the care and guidance they need, and that the children's education will be provided for so that they'll have an even break in the world. And make sure that if you live, you can spend what will probably be the best years of your life in carefree retirement, living and going where you please, when you please, doing the things you've always wanted to do, still setting an example to your children and the world, and showing them that you had the wisdom to do what you urged them to do. So live well and successfully all the days of your life in a climate of freedom. I hope what I've said here will help move you to do what I've done. Plan your future now, because from all the signs, it's going to be great. And remember the story of the money machine. Thank you.